Would you say the quality is getting better for most films?
Oh God, yes. I mean, the quality of the production quality. Yeah, I think people are getting a little slicker. I mean, trust me, I've worked on so many movies in my career that, and mostly in the indie world, that some of them I'm just like, why did you pick up a camera? And then there are other ones are like, okay, he really milked that camera for everything it was worth, and the production looked really, really slick. I think the quality of productions, I think now are gotten to a point where it has gotten a lot better than it used to be, but the story is not as the storytelling, I think, is getting lost somewhere in the production. Everyone's always about the camera and how many Ks you've got, and you know, oh, I'm going to shoot on 8K Red Dragon, whatever they're calling it now, you know. And I'm like, that's great, man. But at the end of the day, it's about the story and it's about those characters, and people will forgive low production value if there's a good story.
And maybe that's the big problem, is that more and more people can do it. So,
oh God, yes.
I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because we can make films now when otherwise you'd have to go through a traditional system. The bad thing is that a lot of people are doing it, and if yours is good, it's a little bit harder to navigate through all the shit.
Right. The level of entry is much cheaper to get into, and I kind of witnessed this when Final Cut came into the world. I was an Avid editor. And I went to get myself certified as an Avid editor and paid the $800 for the certificate that I never showed anyone. And but I got certified in Avid, and I was an Avid editor. And then all of a sudden, this hooligan called Final Cut showed up, and all of a sudden, everybody was an editor. Mm-hmm. So where you used to be able to make, you know, $50 or $100 an hour as an editor, now there's 15 kids out there who call themselves an editor, but they're not real editors. They just know how to run a software on their laptop. And then all of a sudden the market got diluted, and then the prices started dropping and dropping. And then, so I saw that first happen in post, because that's where the technology was the cheapest, and it broke through that door. Now the cameras are the same way. Before, you could not get anything that looked like film unless you actually shot film. Then the Red came in, and the Red kind of really kicked the door down for everybody. You know, once the Red showed up, that really opened the door and really set off the revolution. Then the DSLRs came afterwards, and that was like a happy accident because there's no plan by Canon.
There wasn't. It was just an afterthought.
They were just like, yeah, that's for weddings, or that's like, you know, for your home videos. They never even thought about like filmmakers. What? We could like do a revolution.
It was difficult for me. And for every client that I got at that period of time. This was my senior year of college when the 5D Mark II came out. Mm-hmm. And I had a Canon XH1 at the time, a great like HD camcorder, basically.
Sure.
And it shot really high quality video, but like nothing like the Canon 5D.
Yeah.
But then to see my friends who would get it, a couple of my friends had it, and I didn't have the money. I didn't have $3,000 to drop on a camera.
Sure.
But it was so good. You couldn't deny how good the quality was from these tiny cameras.
Comparatively to in the video world, yes. But when you compare it to the film world, no.
Yeah.
And that's where I always had a problem with DSLRs personally. Like I also color graded and finished probably about 5 or 6 5D movies.
Really?
Yes.
That's tough, dude. Because the early 5Ds too, it was so crushed.
No one knew what they were doing. The color space was really low. No one was shooting it properly. No one really, you know, everything was underlit. Mm-hmm. You know, I had a movie once that was shot mostly in a forest at night on a 5D. And they're like, hey, why is everything grainy? I'm like, well, do you want to see something? And by the way, all the stuff on the inside, we're going to add grain to it now. And now it's a creative choice. And
sure.
I did that on 3 of the 5 DSLR movies that I colored. So, you know, I always had a bad taste in my mouth. Now, I mean, the DSLRs have gotten to, a very respectable place. And if you know how to shoot them properly, it's good. But I'm still old school. I like raw. Sure. You know, I like a raw file. So that's why I love the Blackmagic so much, because they shoot raw. I'm like, oh God, and you can go in there and color and tweak, and it saves your ass like big time. Yeah. You know, so if I would have shot my movie on a DSLR, I would have been screwed. It would have never made it. But having that raw file really, really, really helps a lot.
Right.